Hello, my name is Kip Cornett. I'm president of Cornett Integrated Marketing Solutions. I think that the long-term benefits for the World Equestrian Game, I think there's several different opportunities. And I think the first opportunity is if you look at cities that, one city that we're compared to a lot is Austin, Texas. And where that comes into play is where the World Equestrian Games come into play is if you think about one of the defining moments for Austin, Texas, is their whole South by Southwest festival that goes on, and started off kind of as a small idea and is now one of the ways that Austin is defined. Well, we actually have the benefit of something that is very large, and the World Equestrian Games, I'm sure South by Southwest started out with a few thousand folks, or maybe even a few hundred folks and a couple of films. Whereas that we've kind of had plopped down in the middle of our city, more than likely 250,000 visitors, 1,000 journalists from all over the world, and the infrastructure that's been built at the Kentucky Horse Park that is going to be a calling card for the equestrian world, hopefully for the next several years. And whereas Austin kind of has adopted the music and performing arts world, we have built a tremendous amount of infrastructure around the equestrian world. About 2 weeks ago, we had Steven Spielberg and Bruce Springsteen out on Newtown Pike. And they weren't doing a movie, and they were not doing a concert. They were here for the equestrian world. And bringing those type of people to your community, and not for a couple of hours, but for a couple of days, has lasting impact. They become ambassadors for your city. They spread the good word about what we're all about. So I think part of the residual effect, maybe starting with the city and then going to the horse park, back to the Austin analogy, is a confidence factor. If we do this and do this right, I think that hopefully that the locals here will realize there's more that we can do. What do we take on next? We prove to ourselves, which I think is very important, and then we prove to the world that we could pull off a world-class event, have a great time while we're doing it, and again, it's like, what's next? What else do we want to tackle? So I think there's that intangible for the locals, that it's just a confidence factor of other type of activities that could be equestrian related or could not be equestrian related. But if we throw a tremendous 17-day celebration and a world-class event, I think that the attitude coming out of it should be, okay, now what's next? What's next for Lexington? In terms of the local business community getting involved, I think I've talked a lot about individuals and inviting Uncle Harry from Chicago and being nice to tourists, but the business community is obviously every bit as important as individuals. And there's a number of ways that businesses can get involved, and I think it ranges from when we were first looking at kind of some of the communications that we wanted to send out to the business community, is there's so many different ways that you can get engaged from something that is no cost, something that's low cost, or as much as that you want to invest. It kind of depends on what your scope and what you hope to accomplish. But I think for the businesses, and we've seen a lot of businesses already step up because of the success of the Spotlight Lexington Festival, which is, I think, something that is really a very, 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 very important part of our hospitality element here. We've had a lot of businesses that have stepped up and have actually sponsored the festival, and through cash or in-kind contributions, or also volunteers as well. I think that it's going to be kind of that piece that our guests from out of town are hopefully going to go back and brag about, because for the first time in Lexington's history, we're going to have 17 straight days of entertainment, free entertainment. And the reason that we're able to do that, and we're not doing it with taxpayers' dollars, it's businesses that have stepped up and have done that. I don't think that there's anything that's more of a team-building exercise than working together to welcome people to your city. We've had a couple of businesses, Valvoline, for example, that has stepped up and were approached about a lot of different ways that they can get involved, and they said, the best thing that we can do is give you our 300 employees who not only will be ambassadors for what's going on around here, but they can participate in all these activities that are going on downtown and can give us a hand in making sure that they come across in a first-class manner. And also, I think that just the business community needs to realize that every person that's here, that comes here as our guest, could be a potential customer. It could be somebody that comes in their business, and whether it's makes a small purchase, large purchase, it could be a potential employee. I think that Lexington is doing everything that they can to attract the creative class here, and one of the ways that I think that you attract a creative class here is to show them a good time, to show them that we are a progressive city, to show them that we are someplace that's worth living and working in.